Warning! The following show may contain strong language, as well as other content that may not be suitable for a younger audience. The show may also contain spoilers for any and all anime and manga, so please ensure you check the description below for the relevant spoiler warnings. Thanks for watching, Olga. What is up, motherfucker?
First swear word. You owe me a beer. Are we still following those rules?
You what, mate?
You owe me a beer for swearing.
I do not owe you a beer, because that is not a rule of the happy hour.
The audience in LAGC, why can't I say it now, man?
Were you part of the audience of... Actually, Lego, were you part of the audience of LAGC?
Yes.
I knew it! Were you dressed as Mega Man?
Yes!
You undercover motherfucker, we knew you were there! We found you. We found you, motherfucker. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name is Simon, better known as Vacant, and welcome to episode 78 of the Manga Raiders Community Happy Hour podcast. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. On the show today, we have, you've already heard him, he jumped in at the beginning. It's better that he does it now, get it out of the system. His name, the returning Lego Maestro. How's it going, dude?
It's going fine, man. I am doing well. I have just recovered from my hangover, and I'm working on the last of my cheap-ass beer. I have read a light novel. I'm feeling pretty okay-ish. So, yeah, let's go with this episode. Let's do this.
Pretty okay-ish. Good.
I'm pretty okay-ish.
And to his virtual left, at least for me, is the most intelligent man after Rick Sanchez, the wine drinker, the critical thinker. His name is Coryn.
Hey guys, it's Coryn, also known as Matt in the real lives. How are you all today?
Very, very well.
We're very fine.
Of course.
Mr. Matt.
Matt's racking up quite a streak of multiple consecutive appearances now. You might rival Manimal. You could be the Manimal streak of 2017.
Well, now that we finally started doing these on the weekends, like consistently and not, Mondays, it's a bit easier.
Well, we're always consistent. What are you on about? We're professional and consistent and have a concise time scale that we record these and stuff. I can't get over that Legos...
Exactly not that. Completely the opposite of that. I don't know what you're talking about. I
know that this is an audio podcast and this is very much lost on the audience at home, but Lego has his camera on. Of course he's got his mic on. And the beer that he's drinking just remarkably resembles like a ketchup bottle or a barbecue sauce bottle, and I can't get over that.
It really
fact
does.
He's drinking.
I was about to say that.
It just looks like you're chugging down some ketchup, which is pretty hardcore. I didn't know it was alcoholic.
It tastes like ketchup. So bad.
Ketchup beer.
Ketchup flavored beer. That's a new one.
Oh, that's nasty. Speaking of a very much a connoisseur of alcohol, he is the musical sensation, the number one across the nation. When you hear him tickle the guitar strings, it brings elation. It's Manimal.
Fast and bulbous is the Manimal heritage only things.
That's him. He's there, in the flesh.
That's him.
Oh, there
we
we
will
go.
Photoshop his voice in.
You can't Photoshop voices, but
okay,
we'll
okay.
auto-tune it in. It's Manimal! That's
Manimal.
That's not auto-tune, that was just
Man.
Something like that.
something to that effect. And finally, rounding out the cast today, because there's not four of us, surprise motherfuckers, there's actually five, a debutante of the Manga Raiders Happy Hour. He is Roshiro Byakko.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Doing good. Gonna try to actually stay in Manga Raiders for an extended period of time instead of, leaving every month.
Oh, you have a reckoning, man.
That's
you
okay,
have left.
dude. Yeah, for those who don't know, Roshiro is a relatively long-time member, of at least for multiple years, a few years at least, of the Manga Raiders Forum. So welcome him on here, and he's back. He's back for good. He's made some contributions, which we'll talk about later in the show. But as we start off, as always, how's your week, guys? Lego Maestro, I know you alluded to it earlier about your light novel, but what have you been up to?
I finally got my hands on Kindle-chan! I had to get my hands on it. I doubt you can see anything here. But I saw a light novel review on Anime News Network. I saved too many girls and caused the apocalypse, and I just said, nope. This is it. I've got to read.
I love that that's the thing that's made you go out and buy a Kindle.
I did.
A light novel called I Saved Too Many Girls and Caused the Apocalypse.
Dude, how many times do we see these titles, man? Seriously. I was just like, no, I need to read these novels and see what they're all about. And to be honest, it's pretty fun. I'm looking forward to diving into both the terrible and the great light novels. It'll eat my wallet like no one's business, but it's an investment I'm willing to make.
Hey, it's good way to consume a lot of novels, and especially material that's hard to come by in a physical form, so we're all good.
Other than that, I finally watched Danganronpa. Danganronpa, everybody talk about. This is a rap for Junko-chan. Enoshi-machi is the one. She has boobs shaped like the sun, and a personality that makes you want to run, because she's sort of psycho. Yo, no, I've watched Danganronpa anime at length. So thanks for the constant recommendations. I mean, come on, this was just like you know it's another, you know the genre. I mean, it's pretty familiar, but it was original. Monokuma was hilarious, and the characters hilarious. The character designs, man, I have never seen. It was good. It was a fun anime to watch, and it actually. Yeah, I've been watching 80s anime and given up on other anime for a while, but watching this has made me feel like I can get more into this season at least. I haven't touched anything from this season.
Well, we could give you some recommendations. We'll be doing a winter season recap in the coming weeks. But yeah, Danganronpa is really, really good. Are you going to be watching the Danganronpa, the 2 series that came out last year that I can't remember the names of?
Yes, definitely. Now the best thing is that the episodes are all out there. I just need to avoid spoilers, and I'm ready for it. I wonder how it continues. They weren't really clear on how screwed the world was, or
it's pretty confusing, to be honest, when it happens. But yeah, it's a really fun show. I'm looking forward to when eventually Danganronpa 3 drops, and I may even go back and rewatch the animes because I've not watched the first season because I played the game, so I'd like to see any subtle differences between them.
I did want to ask about the games. Did the Persona people work on this by any chance?
No, it was Spike
Chunsoft,
I think it was, off the top of my head.
The weird color scheme, man. I was like, this is...
There was some fun, there was some cool, cool character designs, definitely, for Showa. And it was very popular, some very popular to cosplay. I'd like to think that you were inspired off the Junko cosplay that we bought for you, and that made you watch that.
Yes. Oh my god. I need to send a personal thank you note. I also need an address and
Okay.
I just need to say thank you. You don't trust me.
Well, we know how you say thank you, so that's maybe something to leave and move on to Coryn. How's your week going, dude?
My week's been not as bad as normal. I still worked out a bunch of overtime and stuff, but not a bunch of overtime, so that was good.
Only 60 hours this week then?
Only, I don't know actually. Probably 40. Well, I worked it today. I don't know anymore, man. Maybe 45, 46, something in there.
That's not bad. That's pretty low for you. That's quite a light week.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited about it too. So, I mean, it hasn't been too bad. I'm enjoying a nice bottle of wine I bought a couple weeks ago on discount. So it's actually a more pricier bottle of wine than what I had to pay for it.
Fancy.
You lucky bastard.
Other than that, I haven't watched any anime this week. But I found out today, because I've been buying the first arc of Bleach, the Soul Society arc. I am nearly done. I am 1 or 2 volumes more to go, because I own up to 19 now, and I know for certain that by volume 23, the Arankar arc has already started.
Mm-hmm. It has.
So 2021, one of those 2 will be the last volume of Bleach I actually feel compelled to buy.
Oh man, that is awesome. Oh, do you have them on the shelf or something? Come on, man.
I mean, I have some on the shelf. There's no more space left in my bookshelves. They're just kind of getting stacked up on top of each other now.
Oh man, I think if I have a Bleach collection, I'm definitely not getting all of them anytime soon. So I'll just go for that quintessential.
Okay, I doubt I'm ever going to buy them all. I might buy the last volume just to bookend it if I come across it, but it's going to take something for me to really feel fired up to buy the whole thing. It's just too much, man. There's way too much.
Are you saying that 67 volumes is too much?
A wee bit.
4 volumes.
That's not much. In fact, isn't it 74, actually? It's 74, not 67.
Absolute death. Absolute
Because
death.
I also have to, I feel like I should get the last info book, because I own the first 2. I think there's 3.
There is a third one with Ukiura on the front, but it is... I don't even know if it's come out in English.
I don't know.
I don't know why it
I own
hasn't.
the first 2. I assume it has,
Yeah.
since they kept translating everything else.
Yeah, it made no sense not to
seen
have the third character book. I've got the second one. Haven't got the first. Yeah. That's so good then. That's good. I will eventually complete the collection, maybe, possibly. I've almost got all the DVDs. Just got to wait for the last ones to come out. Although that's not much for the... Suffice to say, I'm not really interested in getting the last ones, but you've just got to get them to complete the collection. Same with the filler.
I mean, I don't know. Can you buy the DVDs without buying all the filler too?
No. Well, you
Oh my god.
you can. So, like, in the UK, it's like season 1, 2, and 3, which is all the Soul Society arc, and then 4 and 5 are the Bound arc, but I bought them anyway because they were dirt cheap. For some reason, the filler arcs are half the price as the canon. I just find that really funny.
I don't know if you have to say for some reason. I think we all know the reason.
It's just funny why they've done it. Like, someone's gone through and gone, yeah, don't worry about that. Just sell that shit off.
That's fun. You don't need that one. It's fine.
Yeah.
As far as fillers go, though, oh, sorry.
Yeah, go on, finish playing.
As far as fillers go, the Sword Arc one was pretty cool, though. That one was...
Sword Art was cool. The Bound art was cool. I really enjoyed it. In fact, I'll go out on a limb and say Bleach's filler for a shonen, most of it was pretty damn good.
I would say Bound art wasn't bad at all. The Sword Art was good for the first half of it, until they killed the main bad guy and it kept happening anyways. Am I the only one who just remembers that they just killed the main bad guy and it kept going on? It just didn't stop.
Yeah, that did happen. Oh man. And the 3 sidekick characters they put along with Coryn, those guys were hilarious too. I actually think of them as part of the whole thing. Oh man.
I guess the one with the replacement captain wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Shusuke?
I'm a guy Shusuke. If only they did it. I mean, he's definitely an Aizen rehash, but...
Yeah, but I liked he had a cool sword, at least.
Oh, yeah. And his subordinate was pretty badass too. That rainbow sword that was actually dangerous.
Well, that was Bound. That was a Bound arc.
Wait, no. The dude with the rainbow sword?
Yeah, right? He was working with the Bounds.
No, he had a katana. Like it was wait a minute. I need to look into this again. But
Well, Bleach's filler is a whole lot better than Naruto's. I'll give him that.
I don't know how Naruto manages to do that, because the manga literally has places where they say, "Oh, these guys finished these C-class missions off camera." So I'm like, you don't need to just think up something interesting. Like the first Naruto mission was literally saving a bridge from badass ninja and his crew, and I'm like, come on, man.
Naruto slowly became more and more disappointing as it progressed.
Did you finish it, Roshiro?
Yeah, I finished it. I can't say I'm too happy with Boruto, to be honest. A lot of people are, but...
Yeah, well, don't worry, because the spring season is starting with Boruto on that. I am positive that we'll have a lot more to say about that fucker. But, sorry, Manimal, we jumped all over your week. How was your week, Manimal? What did you get up to? What delights did you do?
It was the same as always. I released a new album. It's called Midnight Still. I recorded it in 9 days, and it sucks really hard. It's my worst album, but listen to it anyways. BarryGoldman.bandcamp.com.
So he claims he undersells it too much. If you want a more detailed explanation, there's basically apparently what's that? A Febao Raimo, where you write an album.
Yeah, I talked about it in another episode. It's the album writing month thing, and stuff happens and occurs, and
haven't you done 3 albums in the last month?
No.
Okay.
Well, actually, yes. Well, I've done 5. I had 2. I put out 2.
It's out
5 albums?
Yeah, I put out 2 this month. That's not impressive because they're shit, but also I found this Chinese website and ordered a knockoff Asus 5th anniversary figure because the K-On! 5th anniversary figures are amazing. And I was like, oh, this is $18, but of course, because it's a knockoff. But
is it a good knockoff?
This site, it's a pretty decent knockoff. This site is notorious for scammers, so I looked for a while before I found someone that looked good. It was only $17 of shipping versus like the $200 price it usually is.
It's worth
honestly,
a risk.
It's worth a risk because it's like the Asus 5th anniversary figure is amazing. The Mio one, the knockoff didn't look good, although the Mio one's amazing too. I love to have that one, but the knockoff looked like shit. But the Asus one looked okay, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's
I have a knockoff Toka from Data Live, and that arrived broken with the arm cracked off, but it was also really cheap.
Shit.
And it's worth it just to have something like that. So we'll see how this one turns out. We'll see if it shows up. It's from China, so who knows?
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, we're all about supporting creators here as well, but every now and then when there's stuff that's ridiculously priced, because let's be honest, these figures are fucking atrocious.
I mean, if I saw that at a con, I'd buy it on site. Like if the Mio figure was in front of me right now, I would throw money at it.
Yeah.
But in a case like this where it's more logical, then yeah. Because like same with that Mugi figure, I thought about it, and I was like, no, I need it. I didn't care about stuff like because it was in front of me. But
me, I don't give it. I buy knockoff shit all the time. I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, give me that Pokemon
does
wallet.
It last though? I need some figurines.
I don't have figurines,
again,
so.
my Toka one just sits on a shelf, and although I had to glue her arm back on, it's okay. I mean, it's not like you throw these things around and
I do
clash them together and stuff like that.
Oh,
so, you know.
I was going to say, the only 2 that I do have, actually, tell a lie, I say this about buying, like, cheap figures and they're ridiculously expensive. The fucking Play Arts Kai Final Fantasy VII figures are like £70 each one, or 100. Fucking ridiculous amount of money. But they're cool. So they were worth it. And
you still bought them.
I still got them, to be fair, but it's because I deliberated it for months before buying them. And I was like, I've got the spare money. Fuck it, let's do it. Let's get it. And then they just sit there on the shelf. Although you can pose
where
them.
They should be.
Yeah.
What happened to your Cloud Strife large figure thing?
I've got it. That's the one. That's the Play Arts Kai. I've got him. He's just chilling on the living room shelf still. Paints me as a massive weeaboo when people walk in the door, but you know, I forget they're there. I really do forget that I've just got because I've got the PS1 discs and they're framed in Final Fantasy VII. But then I forgot because I was supposed to put them in my bedroom, but I just didn't put I haven't put the shelves up for like a year because I'm really lazy. I literally just use my bedroom to sleep, and my clothes are there. That's about it. So like I haven't done what I need to do in there really. So there's still no shelving in there. So I haven't put my figurines there. So they're just stuck on the living room shelf. So whenever people come in, they're just there, as well as the discs. It makes me look like I'm really obsessed with Final Fantasy VII.
Oh my god.
I mean, I do love me some Final Fantasy VII, but you know, I don't want my living room to be themed around Final Fantasy VII. Although that would be a cool idea, like have the little avalanche hideout as your living room. That'd be sweet. But Roshiro, how was your week, dude?
My week's been going pretty good. Started writing again, and I was like,
yes, Galactic Raiders return.
And I was like, why not stop by MR for some good old times?
Why not reminisce?
Why not?
But that's good.
Because, yeah, I was looking at the day that I joined, and I was like, it was crazy because I was like, oh, well, I had people who had left, who had gone. Felt so nostalgic.
It's good times. It's good times to go back. Well, as they say, as cheesy as it sounds, but the adage is always rang true. Lego, what's the motto?
Oh, I thought you were going to say it. Once a raider, always a raider.
There you go. I was going to say it, but I think it sounds better from you.
Well, it sounds better when I interrupt you. Start saying it, then I should interrupt.
Okay,
please.
well, the saying is once a raider.
It's once a raider, always a raider.
There we go. That's good. That's good. For myself, I have done fuck all in terms of anime. I have not. Actually, it's a lie. I watched one episode of anime, and that was the latest Blue Exorcist one. That's it. That's all I've kept up with this week. Really, really well. It's hitting its climax. It's good. I was a bit annoyed for a couple weeks of it. Not to say it was bad. I ragged on it, but it's still, animation's great, music's great.
That is the answer that would define whether people will stick with the series or not, because that's where
it's very well done. There's a reason why it's one of the most popular ones of the season, rightfully deserved, because it's really, really good in terms of shonen. But that's all I've watched. Other than that, I finally got round to binging and finishing Rick and Morty, and I don't know why it's taken me this long.
I did that as well. When did you finish it? Seriously?
Yesterday, I finished it.
I finished it just last week, and I was like, I'm in a desert. No one watches Rick and Morty.
Really?
What was it like? What was it like? Oh man, that thing.
It's because the Germans don't have good senses of humor.
I suppose
they don't have time for humor. Too efficient.
They mustn't have got Back to the Future when they were. There mustn't be a German bootleg copy of that anywhere. Yeah. Other than that, in terms of anime, I also have started writing again, which is the theme of the episode, so that's coming handy for certain.
What do you mean by writing?
We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. It's the topic that we're going to be getting into in a little bit. Stick around, people. We're going to be talking about getting back into writing after you have been away from it for a while.
What I'm thinking you're writing, otherwise we'll have serious problems, bro. We'll have serious fucking problems, bro.
Like, it sounds like a mafia shakedown. You're going to have some serious problems, man. You don't come around. But other than that, I have not really been up to much. I've been ill. I swear to God, every time I say these things. Can you remember around Christmas time, Manimal, I know you were definitely on a show, and I was bragging about, not bragging, but I was eating a pizza at like 2 a.m. and I was talking, you said you don't touch food after like 6 p.m. I was like, dude, I eat all hours of the night. Day after, I was sick as fuck.
That's what you get.
Exact same thing happened this week. I was eating at like 2, 3 a.m. I was watching a bit of SmackDown, watching the wrestling. And I was eating away at a Mackey's again. Fucking ill as fuck. So I've been recovering from that last few days, unfortunately.
Oh, that reminds me. The newest episode of Akiva's Trip was professional wrestling action. And they revealed the blonde girl's finish. It's pretty intense. But there's
someone wanking?
Dude, mute your mouth, please.
Is someone masturbating on there?
Please. I mean.
What?
Yeah.
Is someone seriously?
Start again. Sorry, man.
I'm done.
I don't feel like it.
Just say again about Akiba's Trip.
No, it doesn't even have a punchline.
Well, I forgot where we were now then. Yeah, watching wrestling. Anyway, yeah, so, sick as fuck. So, that's karma. We would have been starting this episode a lot earlier as well. That's also something, unfortunately, I busted my ass. I've got a cough now because I ran that far, all the way from work to the bus station to go get my bus. And it was there. It was like the light at the end of the tunnel. It was there. It was perfect. I was like, oh, this hard run has been worth it, even though I can taste blood in my mouth because I've ran a lot and I've ran very hard with no warm-up, and I'm not very fit anymore. I ain't built for cardio no more. Fucking, there's a pub opposite, and it just so happens a bunch of the guys and the girls are there, and they fucking tackle me. Like, oh man, come out, drink with us, come out, drink with us. I'm like, I need to go.
Right.
Why can't you come out with us for an hour? I need to go. There's some important shit that we need to do. There's a happy hour that needs recording, motherfuckers. But yeah, there was no getting away from them because one of the guys was a big guy. The other one's a fucking pro wrestler. So there ain't no getting away from these dudes. If they want to hug, they're going to hug you. And then, yeah, it was just that funny. It was like they're clinching me in a bear hug. I'm just like watching the bus just pull away. And now, so I'm like, no, reaching for it, but no. Didn't get that fucker, so I had to wait again. So we would have been recording an hour earlier. These guys have been waiting. I do apologize, guys. So that's why the energy's down, I think. But it's okay, because we're going to pick it up with a little bit of newsy poos, news in the room. So I'm just going to hit these, like, rapid fire. Like, these are going to be really quick news. If anyone else has anything to throw in as well, by all means do so. Full Metal Alchemist live-action film has been announced. It's got a final release date. It's the 1st of December. It's going to be released in Japan. Woo!
When in the West?
It doesn't say. It'll probably be a few months after, if it does get a release. Normally a month or two after.
Downloading. God damn it.
We do not endorse illegal downloads, but a fan sub would be awesome. Yeah, I mean, Alphonse doesn't look terrible, which I thought he was going to. Granted, it's a still image, but hey-ho.
He still looks 3D as fuck, though, but,
yeah.
you know.
He's going to. Let's be honest, he is going to. It's Japanese CG, and that ain't good.
I prefer Japanese when they did what they did with Kenshin. Like the dude with the big sword, you can clearly tell this is a cosplay foam sword, but it still looks better.
Looks better than CG.
Throwing CG,
yeah.
yes.
Their CG has not had a great track record. Look no further than Attack on Titan. But hey-ho. Speaking of Japanese films and filmmakers, apparently there is a very strong indicator that Hayao Miyazaki from Studio Ghibli is out of retirement. He's coming back and forth more than Terry Funk.
That man would die at his table. I don't think he knows how to retire. He doesn't know.
No.
And I'm glad to hear.
Yes, he doesn't need to retire.
Yeah, I'm so happy that he's still around. So hopefully, I mean, there is rumors that they're going to come back with their first full-length CG animation. I don't know how true those rumors are. They only come from Crunchyroll, but we'll see. I'd be really excited to see what is next, and if Miyazaki's come back.
He's going to destroy people. If he better, oh man.
He's going to destroy these motherfuckers.
Noobs! You see G3D cheap noobs.
And also,
Berserk! Learn from him. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh yeah, go on. No, of course. You carry on, dude.
No, I mean, like Berserk should learn from him, and all these shitty CGI stuff. But yeah.
They really should. Speaking of something that's continuing, now I only picked up this news story for the sole purpose of telling Nair it, and Nair isn't here, unfortunately, but I'll say it anyway because in the hopes that he listens to this. Good news, Nair. Kimono Friends will continue, says the creator. So those who aren't familiar, Kimono Friends is
What's Kimono Friends?
Kimono Friends is the really crappy anime that's come out this year in the winter season that's based on a MOBA game with the animal girls. So they're in a safari park and they just follow each other as they find their friends. I think it was like a shooting star crashed and that turned animals into like made them human. I don't know.
Are there Nekomimi?
Technically, there's like a cheetah girl and tiger girl and all sorts.
Favorite anime!
They are also like chibi-fied and a bit lowly-fied as well, so. Yeah. Even though the MOBA game is gone, it is proven to be hugely successful. Apparently, this is one of the top 3 of the winter season in Japan. Like, they are fucking eating it up in Japan, this show. I have not watched a second of it, so I can't understand why. But I can't judge, I guess. But Nair has, so Nair, it's going to continue, dude. You've got your wish, so it's all good. But from one anime continuing to a series ending, Fairy Tail has confirmed that it is reaching its final arc.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Oh, my God.
Was there ever any surprise? Was there ever any doubt? The main antagonist.
Ending or cancelled, but I don't care anymore. I've seen what was the latest so-called death? What was that? I think, was it Ezra? No. Gray wanted to sacrifice his life again, and I was like,
okay. Yeah, let's talk about this. Okay, spoilers for Fairy Tail. Coryn, are you up to date? Is everyone up to date on Fairy Tail, or do they care? Or not
I
care?
have never read Fairy Tail.
Do you care about spoilers?
No.
No. Manimal, do you care?
I have hair.
Okay, that's close enough. Yeah, so let's talk about the fucking ice shell. Okay, this really, really pisses me off. Because it's supposed to be something that adds tension. It's supposed to be like a plot device for adding tension. It is so shit because he uses it in the first fucking arc. Right, okay, let's set the tape. Spoilers for Fairy Tail from now on. Gray is an ice wizard. He was taught by somebody called It's her name is. She sacrificed herself to seal a demon, freeze a demon with this move called Ice Shell. It uses the person's life to create a magical ice barrier that can never melt.
Cannot be melted.
Cool idea. That's I'm fine with that. He knows the magic, and he threatens to use it against this demon, because of course it gets unfrozen by the moon or something. It's like moon to concentrate.
Purple moon on a certain equinox on an island somehow, yes.
Yeah, there's like some circumstance, which is fine, that's fine. And he threatens to use it. He's going to sacrifice himself, and then Natsu stops him. And he's like, your life's worth more than this, don't sacrifice yourself, blah, 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 blah. Fair enough. Okay, that's cool. He's used it once. He tried to use it again in another arc. He tries to use it fucking again. And it's like, well, he's not going to kill himself. Of course he's not. He gets stopped again by Natsu. He fucking stops him and he's like, dude, your life's worth than this. Because he was going to use it again. And you knew all along he's not going to fucking use it because he's not going to die.
He always does the poses and his hair always changes color. Fuck this guy, man.
Do
Fairy Tail for this cheap death pooling shit. Come on, man.
And they do it again recently. He's done it twice in this arc. Where he's like, I'm going to kill myself. It's like, he's like an emo. He's like threatening to cut himself at this point. It's like, I'm gonna kill myself to sacrifice myself for everyone, and then he gets stopped again! And people are just like, as soon as he adopted the pose, he's not dead. You know for a fact he's not gonna die, because he won't die. He's one of the main protagonists.
He bled out and was resurrected, and then after he was killed and resurrected by the timeline, oh my god.
He's died more times than Krillin, and this motherfucker's still breathing. Gray is one of my favourite characters in Fairy Tail, by the way, so I'm not hating on Gray. I prefer Gray infinitely to Natsu, because I think Natsu's pretty boring. And Naruto. Yeah. But for fuck's, I hate this reliance on this fucking, it's so cheap. And it's just, it really, I hate these cheap reliance on these things. When you know they're not gonna, you know it's not going anywhere. It's just filling a chapter, but it's resolved.
Like that.
Yeah, literally, I'm going to pretend I'm going to use this. Natsu's going to stop me and reaffirm our friendship because we're friends. You know, your life's worth more than this. Don't do that. I'm going to reaffirm it and I'm going to get my resolve again. It happens every fucking time and they've done it multiple times and it really annoys me. I hate when they do shit like that.
You've said everything that needed to be said.
It is a crutch and it's just there to fucking fill a chapter. That's all it looks like it's there to do is fill space. It was the same thing with Wendy. When Wendy's body got taken over, you knew that wasn't going to be permanent. You knew that was just for the sole purpose of having a cliffhanger to end the chapter with a goddamn cliffhanger. That's all it was. Fairy Tail rant over. Sorry. Anyone who didn't want Fairy Tail spoilers, welcome back.
That was interesting, an interesting tangent. Let's move on to a happier news, I guess.
Let's move on to some happier shit. Before we get to our main topic, shall we do the quick check-in with the winter season? I've not watched anything other than Blue Exorcist, and it's going well. Lego, have you watched anything from the winter season?
I have been out of the winter season, and I'm even needing to catch up on stuff from last season. I've had a pretty bad anime blackout, but I'm looking forward to it. Our No Exorcist, I'm happy to hear that it's doing well, because this is an arc that needs to be good.
It is doing very well, in my opinion, anyway. Roshiro, have you watched anything from the winter season of this anime? Of this year?
No, I have not.
Fair enough.
I'm pretty...
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Like I say, this week I've missed out. Coryn, have you managed to catch anything this week?
No, I usually watch everything on Sundays, so I'm a little out.
Okay, no worries. And Manimal, what have you caught this week? We're all hinging on you.
Nothing too exciting. New episode of Akiva's Trip. We find out the blonde girls finish, and they also wrestle. Kobayashi's Major Egg is great as usual. There was the Beach and Comic Cat episode. Scum's Wish, I'm one episode behind, but I'm getting there, and that show is great, and that's it. Because I'm behind on everything.
Oh,
that's how it goes.
I thought for a second you were going to say you were behind on it because you haven't felt motivated to watch it. I was going to say, has it taken a dip?
No, I mean, Scum's Wish is good as always. It's just hard to be like, okay, I'm going to watch the show now because it's a certain mood. And that mood is great, and that show is great. But, like, Kobayashi's Major Egg is the only show this season that I can watch whenever because it's a great show. Akiva's Trip has taken a massive dip in quality. I mean, it's the last two episodes had funny ideas, but they were pretty meh overall.
I guess it's that where they're 2/3 of the way through, and it's like that little gap in between, the last arc, and then
Akiva's Trip is just episodic nonsense anyway, so it's not as if anything was going to happen. I mean, there was funny ideas in this wrestling one, but
I would have watched that. Just because it's
whatever. The Kobayashi's Major Egg and Scum's Wish are great every week, though.
Yeah.
And I'm too behind on Konosuba, but that show goes by in like a split second, so it's easy to catch up with.
I do need to binge Scum's Wish, but I keep putting it off because it's quite a heavy show, so I don't know how binging it would be to catch up. It'd be an interesting one. But I might try that. Maybe by next week. No promises, but maybe I'll try and binge it and see how it goes next week. We'll see.
Best girl isn't going to win in this show.
Best girl ain't going to win. No, she ain't. Well, that's our condensed winter season. It's because, it's got that point where we've dropped most of the shit, like the shit shows. So you won't hear any more about Handshakers. We can't promise that, but
It's amazing. I'm seeing reviews that are almost in awe of how bad the animation is. I need to see one episode. It's like these guys are seriously amazed. I've seen high sentences constructed. Was it like this is probably the worst? Oh man, it was. Oh man, that was
a high sentence. This is the worst. This shit.
God damn it! It was a sentence that was high, not. It was complicated and complex.
Yeah, I mean, Handshakers is the visual representation of AIDS, so I don't it's so it's confusing to watch. Like, it baffles your brain when you try to process the different things, and it's an experience. That's all I can say about it. It's an experience to watch. You're not just consuming media. You're just not seeing animation. It's something more that's going on in your brain.
How far would you go, Vacant? Handshakers or Sword Art Online? You have to watch them.
I watched Sword Art Online over that.
Whoa.
Sword Art Online is bad because, Sword Art Online is bad because they have a shit protagonist. The story was a bit meh, but it's still, the animation was fine. It was okay. It's fine. The music was good. The opening was amazing. Good thing I'll say about Sword Art Online, fucking love the openings. They're amazing.
Yes.
Music's good. Like the music. There's strong episodes in it, I guess would be the way to say it. There is good moments. Whereas in Handshakers, I'm not up to date on Handshakers. The last episode I watched was episode 6, I think. But there's not been a period of Handshakers that I watched where I said that was a good scene. Well, that was a good plot point, or something like that. It was really predictable. It's trash.
There's actually 2 live actions that are being made: Battle Angel Alita and Blade of the Immortal. Have you guys heard of those ones?
No, I haven't seen them actually. I haven't seen those live actions being made.
Yeah, there's this one, Battle Angel Alita. It's a pretty interesting cast of characters. Michelle Rodriguez, like from Fast and Furious.
Oh shit, this is a Western adaptation.
Yeah, Western adaptation. And Christopher Waltz from Django Unchained and several other Tarantino movies. So I'm like, wow, this is seriously a Western adaptation. And I think I'll definitely compare it against Ghost in the Shell, because Battle Angel Alita is as niche as Ghost in the Shell. It's a cyberpunk, not exactly.
Well, Ghost in the Shell isn't exactly niche. It's pretty big.
Do you like Ghost in the Shell?
It's not bad. It's confusing as fuck. But no, you said it was niche. Like, in terms of, it's one of the most recognizable franchises of anime.
It's recognized, but no one likes Ghost in the Shell. I mean, okay, who here, show of hands, who here likes Ghost in the Shell?
It's fine. It's confusing as fuck. It's not great. It's not classic. Like I say, people do hold it up on some kind of plateau as if it's amazing.
It
just
is
because
amazing!
it's quite contrived.
Okay.
That's why I'm looking forward to the Western adaptation, because I think they'll actually simplify the plot and make it more palatable.
Yeah, that's what I hope they do really well, because I really don't want to see the movie bomb, and I want to check it out. And Battle Angel Alita is cyberpunk, definitely not as popular as Ghost in the Shell, but yeah, it's a cyborg girl, and she fights, and what's that? There's a death sports game of some sorts with rollerblades and deadly. It's cyberpunk and stuff. And then there's
Death game with rollerblades.
Yeah, it's complicated. I forgot.
Brand new hentai series coming to you soon.
And then there's Blade of the Immortal, where there's an immortal swordsman who's hired by a girl that's being hunted by several strange characters. It's amazing for the art alone. You guys need to just look at a few pages. This artist draws purely in pencil. Oh my god!
I've seen the manga.
Yeah,
I have seen images from it. I remember the style.
It's unfortunately not exciting, but it's amazing. I'm glad that they're making animation, but this one's a Japanese. The characters look on point though, so yeah,
it's good.
Live action is working out for the world, gaining.
That's interesting, because I didn't know there was another Western adaptation of an anime coming out. They're all hitting us in the face. But yeah, the winter season recap, the condensed version, but we will do a full one in the next few weeks. So I guess it's on to our main topic today, and it's quite fortunate that we've got the people gathered here who we have, because we're going to do a little bit of a talk about getting back into writing, or, staying motivated, I guess we'll do.
Are you finally going to answer what you're writing about, or are you just going to go around the topic and avoid the fact that you haven't written another chapter of Heavy Rain for ages? All of you bastards.
Okay, well, normally we do have some rules. Okay, well, we do normally have some rules on the happy hour. We normally ask that we keep self-promoting to a minimum and plugging about our own things, but we will forgo those rules for this conversation, because obviously it's very pertinent to this conversation of what we're writing and what we're talking about. So if we do lose people because we're talking about our own projects, we apologize, but it is important to this.
Get to the point, you bastard! God
okay,
damn
fucking hell,
Are you
Jesus Christ, Lego. Yes!
Jesus Christ!
I have started rewriting. I am in the process of rewriting Heavy Rain. It is a shonen manga that I want to do. I am currently writing it as a light novel because I did it as a script. I started out 2014, I think I started writing the script form.
Several years ago.
And a common criticism or a common critique that I get is that there's not enough information in the script, because I've written it as a script, and there is no art there. There's no visuals there. So it's not as engaging as it could be for a normal person to read and to give me feedback on the actual story itself. It's very bare bones when it comes to a script, which is a massive problem. So, that's why it's led me to start again and rewrite at the beginning. So that's what I'm doing. I am writing by hand. It is a fucking ball ache. I hate writing by hand.
Yes, you're writing by hand. That's what all artists do. But oh man.
But this is the reason why I'm doing it. For people at home, we'll go into the tips. It's because I've seen many an author say about doing their first draft on a pad, with pen and paper. Doing that because you've got something there and you can grab it at any time. And I feel like you pay more attention to what you're writing than what you would do typing, because it's a lot easier to just backspace what you've written when you're on a keyboard. Obviously, you can just scratch a line through what you've put when you've written, but you put more thought into it because you've actually consciously got to write it. So I feel like you immediately pay more attention when you're writing by hand. The other thing as well is when you finish that as well, I can take this anywhere with me, so I can update this. Although I haven't taken it with me to work. It'd be a bit weird if you're just writing there and everyone's like, what are you doing? I'm just writing my shonen story. Just, you know. This is the part where the guy falls on the girl's boobs. That doesn't happen in the story.
And
That's
then
not
it's
something that
embarrassed.
happens.
Wait, it
shouldn't happen.
Are you sparing some characters at last? You know you want to. You're rewriting the story, man. So
Anyway. Yeah, but the other good thing that you do is when you go back and do the second draft, when you actually type it up, it will force you to reread it. You won't just skim over it, because if you've already written it, and you've already written your first draft, you're not going to write it again from scratch. You're just not going to. Where you'll be forced to if you've done it on pen and paper, which will make me proofread it better, make sure sentences flow more correctly. So hopefully, after I've done that and I've been able to do a second draft on the computer, that should be more complete, and I should be very close to possibly publishing. Who knows?
That sounds like it'll take a while before I see anything, but at least writing is being done on the damn project.
Well, I have set myself a goal of writing an hour a day, other than the days that we record.
Okay. That sounds promising.
I used to think that's not enough. I'm a person who likes sitting for several hours writing every few days, rather than bits and pieces and dribs. But if I force myself to sit there for an hour, I get into it. Sometimes I spend more than an hour, sometimes I spend a little less, but it's a good practice. I'm really at the beginning of the road. It's only been a couple of weeks, so we're getting into it.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm pacified.
There you go, Lego. I had to explain what I was writing. So let's go around the table then. We'll just explain what we're getting back into writing, and then we'll go into some advice for getting back into it. If you're a bit rusty, any techniques or tips that we have as well. So Lego, I have noticed that Kingfisher Crimson is getting a bit of activity again. What's going on there?
Well, it is thanks to the Manimal who revived the Writers' Roundtable again.
Oh my god, we should have mentioned that.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned it since you're the founder. What is the round?
The Writers' Roundtable is making a comeback, but Manimal, unlike me, Manimal actually pulls off what he says he's going to do.
No, I'm not even.
You will. You will know because you do.
No, I hope so.
You will, man. You'll be fine. But yeah, the Writers' Roundtable, for those who don't know, was an initiative that we did in the forum where people sign up, we volunteer, we take it in turns each week or each 2 weeks to take someone's story, review it, read it and then review it, and then we can ask them any questions about the story that we may have. It works out quite well, but it does take a long time. It takes a large portion of people's time, so you need to be committed. Unfortunately, a lot of us just dropped out of it because we're all lazy. Well, at least for me. I was really bad.
I just ignore the deadlines and say I'll get to it eventually. It seems to work so far, but it was pretty effective the first time, and this time around it looks like it's working out pretty well. So
what have you been writing and working on?
I finally updated a chapter of Kingfisher Crimson. As much as I like to hunt you people for your stories, I am also pretty bad at updating this damn project that has taken a while. But hey, no one reads it until the roundtable comes around. But yeah, I think I might actually have to start writing by hand because I've seen the same problem where I'm just like not motivated. I have all the tools, yes, typing pretty fast, but no motivation there. But anyway, I updated the chapter, which is basically just overwriting what I saw. Oh my god, I used to write so horribly in the... Oh my god, I'm no pro now. But I have seen things. Have you ever gone back to the past and just seen your old writing and just known how bad you were, but just... Oh my god. But I would never have recognized it then, and if I heard myself saying this to myself now, I would be discouraged as hell. I think there's really no way to get better at writing than just to write and let it develop over time, because some of these mistakes were unforgivable. The typos! How do you typo on the internet when the spell checker's on the fucking forum?
How do you typo?
I've always wondered that.
I don't know how I was pulling it off. I think I had anyway, I wrote a chapter. It went well. Yes. How goes it with my virtual left? That is Coryn, is it?
That is Coryn. Coryn.
Oh god, I have to talk now?
You have to talk now.
You have to talk now at the pain of death. Because if I don't hear Coryn Saga Volume 3 finale, ready to be published on Kindle, then yeah.
I mean, I'd like to publish it in a real book. Is that
Yes.
too much to ask?
Well,
No.
Sorry, I've been updating my Facebook and shit and uploading London photos. I've been writing Coryn Saga stuff, guys, for those who ever read it or ever cared.
yes! Coryn Saga as well! Wait, what do you mean writing Coryn Saga? Do you mean just writing character descriptions or actual chapters?
I mean, there's a chapter
Okay.
with dialogue and action interchanging with each other. And events happen in a plot, and it moves forward the story.
That sounds
Yes.
like... That actually sounds like character descriptions to me. I do think that was real writing of the chapter.
I just wrote a 10-page summary of what's happening instead of 10 pages of actual writing. No. I've been doing things. I've been getting stuff done, which is different. But, you know.
For context, when was the last time that you wrote that amount for Coryn Saga?
Reveal your sins to the world.
Summer of 2015.
Whew! So a bit then.
In my defense, I worked on other projects in the meantime. It's just this particular one kind of slid into the background.
Okay.
But I'm back.
This
'cause
counts as a back burner anymore, man. That thing is black as hell now by now. It's been roasted. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Coryn
It's back.
Saga. Coryn turns black. It's like the reverse Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I don't know if that one's gonna fly so well.
Just minus the child molestation. Allegedly, we should say.
Allegedly.
You
I
know.
mean, we could get into that in another discussion. No, I've been writing that, and I've lost a lot of my skill as I've discovered, which
Okay.
is sad. But at the same time, I don't know if a lot of what I would call my previous skill was something I just imagined to be my skill, and now I'm learning more about how I should actually be writing, and I'm just realizing I'm a fraud. I'm a terrible fraud.
Oh no, I feel like we've unleashed some psychological torment. I find that I remember when I was writing, because I have that as well. It's writer's rust, and I'm not as good as I was. But I think it's because I'm immediately comparing myself. I have a really bad habit of comparing myself to what I've last read. Like, whatever I've last read, even if it's completely different in tone or format to what I'm doing, I compare myself to it. Even if it's not a direct, there's no correlation between the two. So that's a really bad habit that I have to break.
The problem is I'm noticing a lot of writing that I actually want to be able to sort of write in a proper novel-ish sort of style, and I just have never done that.
Yeah.
Because I'm completely just self-taught. So I'm starting to find the holes in my theory.
The holes in the theory.
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely the most subjective person, so it won't, any critique on my part won't help. But the writings seemed pretty fine to me, man. Have you shown it to people? Like, have you gone to?
Other than the internet, no.
Me too. I've never shown anyone.
Anyway, even if you're coughing blood, I still need to see the end of the volume because
You'll
I've
see
been
it
following this
eventually.
Why
It's
did you
just
tell him
this
that?
last book's gonna be like 5 times longer than the previous 2.
Are you serious? I
Yes, I'm
thought
serious.
things were coming to a head. Like, players have been found, and I'm just like,
The first arc will come to a
it's sad.
conclusion in 2020.
the memories, man. The memories.
I'm sorry,
Well,
man.
Murdered friends and time travel and
I never thought it would happen, but I built a much bigger story than I'm ever expected to work on.
yeah.
And if you think about it, the first book was 150 pages, which is nothing if you would pick it up off the shelf in a bookstore. The second one was 250, which is okay, but still.
Wait, the second one was that long?
Ish. I mean, I can open it up and tell you exactly what it is. Okay, so it's 306 pages long. I lied.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This next one is already at 115, and I haven't even introduced to the main conflict yet.
Okay. That explains it. Okay.
It's going to be so much longer.
Ay.
So, did you used to pump them out at a faster pace, Coryn?
When I was a freshman in college, and I wasn't really doing the college part of my college education, or I should say the education part of my college education, I was pumping out easily 3 chapters a week. Because I was spending a lot more time writing than I was actually going to college. And over time, that became pretty much all college and very little writing, because engineering has a way of doing that to you. And nowadays, it's just actually having a job. But since the last few weeks, I haven't had too much extra work. It's been okay. So I've actually been able to get in there and write some stuff, and it feels good. It really does. I just need to get done and doing it and feel good about my writing skills again.
Ay. Maybe you join NaNoWriMo and finish it in one go.
Probably not. Sorry, I went to take the world's longest piss.
NaNoWriMo.
There's no way I can write an entire book in a month with my work schedule.
I tried and failed miserably.
Yeah, I know.
I tried it back in college when I had a lot more free time. It just doesn't work out.
I was done like day 4. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I missed it. Yeah, I was terrible. Manimal, what have you been writing recently? Or what have you been working on?
Nothing.
Didn't you?
No, I found...
Sorry.
What?
I was going to say, didn't you write something for Manga PI?
No. I haven't written anything for that in like a year. Again, I find with this motivation, once it's gone, and there's no bringing it back. I don't know. Again, there's only one kind of story I'm good at doing nowadays, and we don't need to talk about that. But, you know.
Oh, yes, I remember. I know what you've been working on. We just can't reveal it because it's not been posted yet.
And other things. But for other stuff, no, I've lost it with that stuff. No, I can't see myself going back to that. Same with comics, but who knows?
You never know. You never know. Like I say, we all have that burnout when we need to take a break, and at some point you think,
it's all about my tunes now, you know.
Well, that's your focus. That's cool. Like, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, again, there's only one kind of writing that I can even find inspiration to do, and I once again found out my secret superpower. I don't know what. No, what? I don't give a shit. Who cares about being ashamed about things? God damn it!
You shouldn't be ashamed of it.
That's all I'm going to say. The end.
Yeah, it's I can't wait for it to come out. I'm excited to see the I guess it's a fanfic. Is it a fan? Would you class it? It is a fan fiction, isn't it? Technically.
What I do isn't fan fiction, but what you're talking about specifically, sure.
It's high literature. God damn it!
I'm sorry.
I'm intrigued. What is this?
I got shut down. It's a very spicy tale involving.
It's about ceiling tiles and reptiles and arigma files and nail files and filing cabinets all at the same time, all in the same place.
Did you know exhaust fans pull at 0.5 inches per watt column because that's what it takes to lift up a ceiling tile?
I found that out from research I did for this story. It's called Tiling the Ceiling is a Lot Funner Than You Think It Is in a Hot Spring Part 2, the sequel.
You've got that light novel long title down. So you're
it's not long enough yet. I'm working on it. I need to beat the freaking Hot Spring one.
My sister visited me over the summer and she realized that ceiling tiles are a lot of fun to install and also maintain on a regular basis.
Not catchy enough. It needs to be something like, I can't believe that ceiling tiles are this fun to install with my little sister on a regular basis, and ceiling fans radiate the image of my reflected skull across the wall and down the hall. It would be a ball, but I gotta puke.
I can't wait to install my little sister on a regular basis. Is all I got out of that.
You know, in Maso Gakuen, there is an installation scene, but you can only see it on the Blu-ray, and they chose the worst character possible to do that with, and I puked. Because it was the lolly.
Okay. Do you own the Blu-ray of that scene?
No, I just see things in places.
I just
remember when Lego Lab reacted to the cat one?
Yes, vaguely, very vaguely. I remember.
That was something else.
That was funny. Oh, yeah. Good times. Roshiro, what have you been writing, or have you got back into writing? Well, you did say you got back into writing recently. What have you been working on, and how did you find it?
Well, I was just mindlessly surfing the internet one day when I looked back at my old notebooks, and I was like, "Hey, this is from MR." So I was like reading it. I realized a lot of it was bad. I've always had an issue with pacing, and then that's very clearly obvious to me now. So I'm just trying to get back, like you all are, back into the writing spirit.
Oh, man, at least finally, it's been a while, man. How long have you been gone?
I cannot. Well, technically, I've been gone since like December 2nd, 2014, but I've popped in like for a few months here and there.
They've had grand returns once in a while. Kind of like, you sort of pop in and out. There's a few who sort of come back every few days and then they disappear for a few months. Crackhead Johnny's recently come back. Shout out to that guy. I love that dude.
Crackhead Johnny's back?
Yeah,
when
man.
Did he come back?
Today.
What?
Galmra, I'm hoping, comes back again. We love you, Galmra, wherever you are, if you're listening to this shit.
Yep, probably out there recording professional voice acting for
man
villains.
With the best voice. I think he does take the title for the best voice of the happy hour we've ever featured.
That is a legendary voice. Oh my god.
No offense to Malua and the what impression did she do? Did she do a Viking? She did the Viking one. No, I can't remember. She did some impression. I can't remember. It's going but stretching back over last year. This was. It's too much. And also all of Nair's litany of voiceovers. In fact, no, I rescind that claim. Gelmra doesn't have the greatest voice. It is me when I do my televangelist voice, my black pastor voice.
Hit us
That's the best one. No, I'm not doing it now. Can't do it now. I bigged it up. I can't big it up and then do it, because that'll just massively, disappoint. But, we've all been... I think, for me at least, 2016 was a very bad year to try and write. I just couldn't focus. I couldn't settle. I didn't finish a single project last year. I started so many. The Bleach fanfic we did, I attempted. It spiraled out of control.
I did write a Bleach fanfic. I forgot about that.
You did.
A whole 35 pages, and nobody read it.
I read it.
Wait, you serious?
Yes. You're in it.
Yeah. It's with us in. It's quite cool.
Oh my god.
I didn't finish it. I said I read it. I can't lie to you, I didn't finish it. But I got a fair chunk of the way in, and I was like, I looked ahead and I was like, holy shit, there's still more of this. Good god, I ain't got time. And then I had to leave
Where did we even post that? I'm going to try and find that again.
This was part of my problem. I guess we'll go into writing and starting to write and write on a consistent basis. Beginning writers out there, quite often, and I fell in this trap as well, and I think maybe you guys, I don't know if we're alone in this, but I certainly fell in this trap. The first story I wanted to write was an epic tale that spans a dozen arcs, and it's ridiculously, hundreds of chapters long of manga chapters. It's a really long-standing series with so much going on and so much to explain and so much backstory and history and characters.
Yep.
It's this great epic, and you're a beginning writer, and you're trying to juggle all these things. Where the other thing to actually do, it gets overwhelming, you stop, and then you've got to try and get back into all that again. And I found at the very beginning, I struggled so hard to write short stories. I just thought it wasn't a problem, but it is. It is a problem. So
My imagination's too big for these small confines.
But you need, to get a start, middle, and end, and write it in a realistic thing. It's so good for pacing. So I focused on that, and I tried to write some short stories. I wrote really short things for myself that I've never released. in 2015, so I was writing stuff like that. Then I piecemealed things for 2016. But focus on short stories. If you ever get to a long one, and it's... Even do offshoots. Even do omake chapters, or non-canon chapters, or side chapters. If you want to do just a short story, that's what I did for mine. I got a bit overwhelmed, so I flashed forward, did a little side story for it, just to keep myself practicing with writing. So, I suppose I just want to throw it open to you guys. So, in terms of staying consistent and getting motivated back into a story that you were writing and you're going back to, is there any advice that you guys would give for that?
Reread it is definitely something you probably should do, just because you forgot stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, I guarantee you forgot a bunch of stuff, because I know I forgot stuff.
I learned that personally when I saw how horrible my writing was.
Yeah, so. I reread it. The benefits of rereading it are it's multiple. There's so many. As you say, you reread it, so you get you remember how you wrote it and how it unfolds. Because with the power of hindsight, and as we always look back with the rose-tinted goggles on, the tone you actually wrote and the tone, what you have in your head, could be very different. Or the pace that you have when you think, "Oh yeah, that was fine. I remember writing that. That was great." And that, especially if you were to go back to a story and write it 2 years later or a year later, your style has probably changed since then. So if someone was to read it as a whole, from one chapter to another, or even worse, middle of a chapter, there's going to be this giant leap in like the tone and the pacing and the wording used. And the
you need to be careful about that.
So that's always useful, because you get yourself back into the frame of mind of what it was and where you were. Also, it gives you a chance to proofread it and tweak it. For me, like I was saying, I have reread all my work, and I am starting again, completely starting from scratch. Not from scratch, but like I'm rewriting it entirely.
That is a lot of chapters.
That's not, well, that was only was it 39 or 40 I got to? That's not much, trust me. But then there's a big thing where there's a massive change I want to make, in terms of, again, like I say, we're going into...
Do some characters survive?
No, they still die, Lego, because they're dead. There's a massive changes that I want to make. I'm happy with the first arc. I'm happy with the fourth arc, but I'm not happy with the second and third in between, so I'm going to make some huge changes for that.
And I think that gives some credit to taking breaks sometimes. Like, if you insist on having many ideas, then cycle through them, but let at least one of your drafts sit for a while before you get back to it and reread it. Because if you're working on a story and you want to reach the finishing line, even if it is a first draft that will be crappy, you definitely need to take some time back from it, let it rest, and then read over it. Because otherwise you end up with these nasty things. Does that make sense? No.
Yeah.
It does not.
I know what you mean.
It makes some amount of sense. Okay, Lego, just to edit this out, there's that link to the thing you didn't know existed.
Captain's Dilemma.
Let you fill in your heart while I edit this new chapter.
Yes! Chapter 1.
Because writing that Bleach fanfiction is what really made me realize that I had slacked off real bad. Like, I got in there and was trying to write the first action scene at all. And if you've read any of my stuff, you'll know that I do a lot of action scenes, and it's sort of one of my things that I'm sort of good at. And I tried writing the first action scene, and I'm just like, I can't come up with any ideas. I have nothing. I feel drained and empty and dead inside. I had to go take like a 3-hour walk one time just to figure out what the hell anything would be. It was bad.
I know exactly what you mean. Again, I've restarted. I showed these guys earlier before we started the show. I've started mine. I've just ripped pages out, or I've just started again 3 times because I'm not happy with what I was doing. I'm not happy with how it was playing out, the descriptions that I used, the atmosphere, the tone that I was trying to get. It just wasn't coming through, which is really frustrating. But when that does happen, and it will always happen to you as a writer, there's going to be something, a scene, a piece of dialogue that you're going to write and you are not 100% happy with.
Yep.
Move on from it. Leave
Yep.
it, because it's not finished. Leave it and carry on, because you will think of a better idea when you come back to it. Staying there and really getting annoyed and frustrated by it is...
Only cooks you.
It's going to just frustrate you, and like they say, there's no sense in doing something that's good. Like, for me, personally, writing should always for pleasure, never a chore. You should never...
Go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, I was just going to say, you should never really write when you're hating it, you're frustrated, you're angry. It's like gambling. You know, when the fun stops, stop, as they say over here about gambling. But it's one of them. It's a creative endeavor. You're not going to be at your most creative when you're pissed off. You're not going to be able to do your best work when you're pissed off. It just makes sense. So leave it. Go for a walk. Go for a beer. Go for a wank or something. I don't know if that's what you want to do.
It is good advice to just sleep on it. Like, I can't emphasize that enough, is that if you just, let it sit in your brain, go to bed that night, and in the morning you'll have new ideas.
Yeah, being well rested, what is English? Being well rested does help a lot, and your walking thing does work too. When it lets your brain flow a little. Basically,
it's not even just being well rested, because like when you're asleep, your brain, while you're having dreams or whatever, it's still thinking. Your subconscious is still going. Like back in college, if I ran into like a really, really hard, physics problem, I would go to sleep after working on it for a while, and more than often than not, I would wake up and immediately know how to solve it, because my brain was still thinking about it the entire night, because your brain's a fantastic machine, and you got to utilize it to its full ability.
Absolutely.
That is...
No, dreams and stuff are awesome. Daydreaming, like most scenes, most ideas, most sparks, most of those plot points that needed resolving for me come to me later when I'm just daydreaming or absent-mindedly thinking of it, and it just, something clicks, and it's like, okay, I've got it, and you go back to it. It's so useful. But Manimal Roshiro, anything about, like, any tips to go back to something that you used to write? How to get back into it, anything like that?
No, just because you lose it, man.
I do kind of agree.
Yeah,
but
I mean, like, there's always like a certain motivation of stories that it gets everything going in your head, and you're like, yes, this is incredible. Mm-hmm. But then it never comes back, or it does sometimes, but it's unpredictable.
I think that's a good point actually that we haven't really touched on, because we're saying go back to something and keep powering through it, but there are stories that you're going to start writing and never finish, and you're going to scrap them. I think we've all got a couple of them that we've made a start on, and we really, really were excited or really absolutely love the concept, but then you start doing it and there's no interest there. There's no motivation.
It's easy to come up with a structure for things. Anyone can write down a beginning, middle, and end for a story. That's the simple part. But when it comes to actually executing it, it's not as simple as writing down, they went to the castle and found a sword and died.
Yeah.
It's
true. No, everything in between is I always say, it's not what you're writing about, it's how you write about it. That makes anything can be interesting, anything can be a story, and it's all about how you do it and putting it up from your brain to putting it down and conveying what is inside your head, the information, and sending it down into a well written and palatable way that's going to be entertaining, and it's going to convey all the information and everything that you want to put across, and the message or the tone or whatever you want to do in your story. There's going to be tweaks and differences. The actual product compared to the concept is going to be very different. Unfortunately, that's like one of the facts of...
Well, yeah, again, like every time I try to write something, it's like, all right, here we go, one line, that's it, I quit.
It happens, though. It really does.
Unless it's a magical day where everything just happens to fall into place. It's the same with songs, too. I sit down and grab a guitar, and sometimes a song magically forms, and I'm like, where did that come from? And other times, nothing happens.
Yeah.
So,
It does happen. I mean, I was writing...
Aliens beam signals into your brain.
It's all them aliens, man.
It's aliens projecting their memories into you.
Is that what imagination is? It's just other races that we're imagining. Our imagination is aliens or alternate dimensions. It could be. I mean, it could be.
I don't know why they'd be thinking of stories about high schoolers.
It's a very specific one. Japan has been hit with some weird aliens.
But, I mean, it's very possible, the alternate universe where aliens are flying around, you know?
That's a cool idea, actually. But no, it does happen. I mean,
it's your story idea. Get going.
It's a good story idea.
The idea, what's the Martians?
Okay, Martians who are in an alternate realm. They dream of schoolgirls. They don't know that they're called humans. They've never seen them. They think of these weird creatures.
The twin tails are actually antennas.
Yeah, they are. This seems like it could lead into the
cat
game.
Ears.
Cat ears. This could lead into our game later.
Twin tails are just extra arms.
They are. It's like Squid Girl, basically. That's what all aliens are. So if they don't have tentacles,
they have 4 arms, and they're on their head.
But yeah, that's a good point, like saying about...
It just so happens that a skirt is convenient for aliens when they have 8 legs.
Anything else to add?
I'm just saying, if you have 8 legs, you can't exactly wear a pair of jeans.
You could wear an 8-legged pair of jeans, or you could have like 4 legs in each.
That wouldn't function very well.
It depends how good your tailor is.
But when you think about a pair of jeans, it only work like if you added another leg, that would destroy everything.
Would it? I mean, you just add more like, well, I don't know if you want to call it crotch space,
how big is
abdomen
your
space?
Buttocks? So, you know.
I don't know.
Make them out of denim, put some tubes on them, they're pants.
Okay.
I don't know. Where have we gone with this?
I mean, I'm sure some people need to consider shut up.
It's a strange world we've entered, gentlemen.
Roshiro, anything to add on the motivation to keep writing or scrapping ideas or anything like that?
Just don't get distracted by like shiny new ideas. That's what I always do. You just start writing and then you're like, wow, this story is horrible. But you think of something else and then you just drop your baby and run to another one.
That's true. Or, to add on to that, not every good idea that you have has to fit into your story. Because I had a bad habit of trying to make everything that I thought was a good idea to fit into, like, just crowbar it into a story. And it's like, it doesn't fit there. Just leave it out. It can be in something else. But that was always a bad habit of mine. It's like, this'll work. It won't. It really won't. It doesn't fit the tone. It doesn't fit the theme. So that was the writing advice that we could give. So hopefully that helps anyone who has been struggling. If you are dealing with writer's rust, let us know, and we'll be more than happy to have a bit more of an in-depth discussion about it with you, or pop onto the forum. We might even follow up with a post about it.
Is writer's rust the technical term?
I've coined it as the technical. I come up with shit terms that I then just use. So that's the term I'm now using. Writer's rust.
Surprisingly fitting.
Like the Manga Raiders Happy Hour, shit term that we just kept using.
That's true.
Listen to Midnight Stella. This is the Manimal. I'm out.
Okay, dudes. Sorry to see you go early. Have a good sleep.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye, Manimal.
Bye.
Okay, well, Manimal's left us, so I suppose we should probably head off into the hills ourselves. But it would be remiss of me to not mention something, because we happen to have Roshiro Byakko on his first hour happy hour, and if I had to say the most recognizable thing that Roshiro did, I think I'm fair in saying that, was a little story called Galactic Raiders.
Uh-huh.
It had about half of the forum participating, and it was like Star Wars with katanas.
Yes.
Is that a fair summary?
My guy had a katana.
Yeah, pretty good, yeah. Well, Galactic Raiders, I started it because I was reading the old Mortal Kombat topic or whatever.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Topic inspires everything.
Mortal Kombat, for those people who aren't aware, was basically an RP topic where we fought each other a bunch, and eventually we had to take it down because it literally grew so big that the forum was yielding under its weight.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah, and then I don't know, I think someone commented about it, and they were like, what happened to it? And then, they said that they had to get rid of it because it got too big. But I was like, I want to do something like that. So, spur of the moment, I just was like, let me make this topic and see if people even, look at it, respond. It was like, I went to sleep on it, and then when I woke up, there was 20 new posts. I remember, because I remember the first few days it was kind of bad. I remember Hasith messaged me and was like to have people PM me their stuff instead because it was devouring up the forum.
Yeah, we have very strict rules on PM or RP stuff now because we've seen it get out of control before and we don't want it to happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the story, I think I pumped out an average of at my best, it was 2 chapters a day, whatever. Then, my natural instincts kicked in, and I disappeared repeatedly. It was around chapter 30, I think, the first time I really disappeared. But then I came back 2 months later, and then 4 months later.
Yeah.
Anyway, Galactic Raiders became a thing of a little folk tale on MR, if you could say so.
A piece of MR history, nothing else.
I'm still waiting for my hair to grow back.
Well,
Lego was bald, which is funny to me.
And then, I would like to start it back up, but I definitely would have to find some new participants. A lot of people who were there are inactive now. I believe so.
That's the problem with these long-running things. I have a few ideas for a story that have to get revised every once in a while because they require people to be around to get the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that problem. I mean, props to Crow again. I know we are restarting the third I guess the third act of what's his called again?
Character tournament.
Tournament, we just call it, yeah. Far outgrew the character tournament now. The CT universe, but yeah, he got the first 2 done. That's fucking incredible. And then he's going to on top of doing his own stuff, which is maddening. So how the hell he managed to fit it all in, I have no clue. But yeah, because I've still got a Halloween story that needs finishing from 2 years ago, and I've got them laying about. This is how lazy I am. I've got them laying about, and I just need to post it. But because it's gone past Halloween, I'm no, I've got to wait till Halloween now. Gotta wait. This 2-year-old.
No. February is a big secondary month for horror films and shit like that. It's fine.
That is true. I guess February is. It's the month of romance now. We haven't really spoke. Oh no, we did a manga swap. So we're all good.
We did a romance thing last week, and now we can forget about it forever.
we did a romance thing.
Says the man drinking wine by himself on a Saturday night.
Hey, you're not by yourself. You're with us. You got some great company. What should March's theme be? Because February is romance.
How goddamn those Irishmen are.
St. Patrick's Day. Sporting anime. The theme of March. Actually, no. Fuck the theme of March, because March is It's going to be the second anniversary of the Manga Readers Happy Hour in March.
It is.
In 2 weeks' time, when this episode launches, which we're very excited about, and we really hope you could be there because it's going to be very good. We've got some plans in the works. It's going to be a good episode.
Machinations, irons in them fires.
Some irons in the fire, some fingers in pies, or dicks, depending on what film you've seen.
There's no dick pie. I'm just gonna say right now, we're gonna say no dick pie.
There is no dick in the pie.
Foot down on the dick pie.
Shit. Next week we're gonna have the spring season preview, so looking forward to that. That's gonna be fun. But I think that's all us out. So unless there's any parting shots anyone wants to take before we head out into the sunset.
I would like to make a correction.
Okay.
I say,
Bitch.
like, you know how newspapers issue corrections when they fuck up? I would like to do the same to show that we are a real journalistic force in the anime podcast world.
We are.
Last week, this is not related to podcast, but I said that Guinness ships different forms of Guinness to different countries, right?
Yes, you did.
This is what I said.
This came to a surprise.
This is not true. This is a piece of information I have repeated from somebody who is not a trusted source, and I should not have repeated that. The truth is, Guinness just goes to shit really quickly. You okay there, Vacant?
Okay.
I was triggering.
Start doing the truffle shuffle over there.
It was a graceful truffle shuffle.
It was a graceful, yes, no. Guinness only ships one kind of Guinness. It just goes to shit by the time it gets across the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh.
Okay, so it doesn't survive the rigors of travel.
It just doesn't keep as well as you'd hope it would. And it also doesn't help that, like, if you get a Guinness in America, it's probably been sitting in the tubes of the whole, dispenser rigging for who knows how long.
Yeah, that
because it's not like something people order every couple of minutes. Unlike Ireland, where I think that's all they drink.
It's pretty popular. I've heard rumors that Guinness is pretty popular over there.
So yeah, there is only one kind of Guinness. I apologize to the Guinness company, and then tell them to fuck off because they need to make beer that lasts. Sponsor us as well. The following podcast is sponsored by Guinness beer this week. Should we have a different beer sponsor each week? That'd be cool.
Yes.
Until they give us money.
Until eventually they give us money. Okay, next week I'll be drinking a different beer.
How do we go about asking for promotional money? Can we just be like, hey, Guinness, please give us money?
You just email them. Just say, we've said good things about you, now we want money. What's the worst that can happen? Let's tweet them.
Sounds like a plan. Aye.
Okay, let's go on Twitter and see what Guinness has got. Because we've got to keep up the tweet a random person every week. Oh no, I guess Guinness doesn't have a.
Guinness doesn't have a Twitter.
Oh,
they
man.
surely have a Twitter.
Guinness beer Twitter. I put Twatter instead of Twitter.
Guinness Ireland.
Guinness Island. Okay, let's go with that one. That sounds good to me. Oh, there we go. That looks legit. Let's tweet these bad boys.
It's all about Guinness. I can't imagine this is just a fan blog that's like, let's post about Guinness literally all the time.
I like how it says all followers must be over 18. Please verify your age to followers. See DMs. Oh, we can DM. At Guinness Island. We just said good shit about you on our show.
Are you seriously typing?
Give us free beer, please. Love you.
Let's just hope they don't actually follow up on whether or not we said great things about them.
Guinness, we love you. You're the best beer ever.
Amazing. It's amazing.
I enjoy your beer thoroughly. I just wish it was better quality when it got to America. Didn't, degrade.
Okay.
Guinness, please set up a Guinness factory in America, like in Kansas City, right next to where I live.
Coryn will pay for it. I know he's also an
I
engineer.
will not
so
pay for it. I don't have that kind of money, but it's a great opportunity. Kansas City is a great location. It's the middle of the country. You can ship to everyone else, and they'll have a better product, and it's a good thing for you in the long run. Please, I like your beer.
Oh, I fucked up. I made a typo.
Oh, no. Now they're never going to take us seriously.
Got to rewrite that now, haven't I? Oh, fuck's sake. Okay. Anyway, let's get out of here. This has been episode 78. Thank you very much for listening, guys. Next week, as I said, we have the spring season preview, which is going to be a good one. Very excited about that. And then after that, we're going to have our 2-year anniversary, so it's going to be really exciting. But thanks for joining us. Thanks to Manimal, who had to drop out earlier. Miss you, guy. Miss you, man. Miss you now as well, because you're not here. No, you see him, Sherbet. You ain't been here in a while, so, whatever. Fuck you.
Come back to us.
Not really, I love you.
I missed your accent. It's your best feature, arguably.
Other than his dashing good looks.
I haven't met him in person, so I don't know.
Oh, he's a babe. Lego can attest as well.
I have no comment
hot,
to this.
babe.
But come back, Scotsman. We have things to discuss.
Yeah. Thank you, Lego. Thank you, Coryn. And thank you as well,
Vacant.
Roshiro. Thank you for taking the time.
Give me back my hair,
no
goddammit.
problem.
I hope to
You
have you on
showed
again.
up and you weren't terribly socially awkward about the whole thing, which is a lot more than we usually get from these first-timers, so... Not to diss on the first-timers.
Shots fired.
Your first
I was gonna say.
Well,
We love anybody who wants to come on. If you want to come on, just tell us. We'd love to have you.
We would. We'd really enjoy that. Anyone who wants to come on, give us a shout. But that's really cool. So, hopefully we'll see you again, though, Roshiro. Hopefully we'll see you about the forum as well.
yeah, I'll do my best.
If not, we'll always have this recording as that stands the test of time. And the time we
We'll
spend
always have the happy hour.
as yeah, we'll always have the happy hour to prop us up in these hard times of austerity. I need to go to bed. I'm rambling. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Much appreciated. Love you. We're going out on a song.
Bye.
Don't know which song it is. In fact, anyone name a song that won't get us copyright strike.
Miyageta hozora no hochitachi no hikari. Miyageta hozora no hokitachi no hikari. Oh man, I miss Bleach.
Man, he just went into it. He knew everything.
Yeah. Bye.
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 Bye.